Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. No prayer too small. God hears them all.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You try lifting the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening the lid. You try banging on the lid, hopefully to unsettle the dirt that's upon the lid, so maybe somebody starts digging their way down towards you. Usually people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that maybe, just maybe, you might have overdosed and take something away that God gave you called life? And if that's not selfish enough, to overdose and take something away from the people that love and care for you most, people like your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your children, your grandchildren, to take that away from them is selfish. Let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person that I just read about on these index cards that waited and waited and waited and went to the coffin and never asked for help, and then it was too late. Instead, pick up the phone or call me at 631-599-0218, and I promise you, between you and I together, I will help you take your life back. For your life is gone. People like Larry Geis, addiction recovery coach, life coach, 30 years experience. Him and I always tell folks like you, it doesn't matter where you've been, it doesn't matter where you came from. What matters is that you're here today looking for a better today and a brighter tomorrow. Give him a call at 516-458-2741. That's 516-458-2741. Larry Geis can also be found at www.odysseyconsultant.org. He will help you from your addiction to recovery, from depression to happier times, from low self-esteem to raising your self-esteem. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-458-2741. Don't forget to take your slippers off at night before you jump into bed, but instead of putting by the edge of your bed, stick them under your bed. In the morning when you wake up, go look under your bed, and there they are. Retrieve them. Now, while you're on your knees, ask the Lord for guidance and direction for the days to come. Ask the Lord for mercy and forgiveness for your day's activities. Thank the Lord for your clothing, your food, your family, your health. I call this knee mail. It's you being on your knees and you're talking to God from your lips to His ears. It's your personal chat line. And if you do this each and every morning, your life will start changing tremendously. Thank Him for being able to see streams and waterfalls. There are some people that never woke up. If you put your slippers under the bed at night and pick them up in the morning while you're on your knees, utilize knee mail. K-N-E-E mail. Your personal chat line between you and God. Let's talk about family traditions today. We've been talking a lot about traditions and how important they are. So let's talk about it. I started creating a unique and meaningful family traditional methods. Like this one. It wasn't because we heard that focusing our lives around experiences rather than things created more lastingly. It was about creating happiness within our family and unity within our family. However, the more we've been incorporated them into our life together, the more true we found it to be true. According to the study cited in the article from The Atlantic, choosing to focus on experiences, living in anticipation of exciting plans, and gathering stories and memories can have a profound impact on how much we enjoy life. It's part of the secret sauce, it seems, along with a few other essential ingredients. The first ingredient is they provide a source of identity. Traditions and rituals often tell a story about a family. On the macro level, traditions can teach children where their family came from, or give them insights in their cultural or religious history. On a more micro level, traditions can serve as reminders of events that have even shaped family and your children. How was that family even created? And each time you go, it reminds you of all the experiences you've had on previous trips when you make those trips together. That is a main ingredient, is unity, spending time, and there's no better place to do it than on trips. Why does this matter? According to one of my favorite articles, 6 things the happiest families have in common. The number one predictor of a child's well-being is whether they know their family's history. In an interview with The Week, Bruce Feiler, who authored the New York Times bestseller The Secrets of Happy Families, said this exactly. Researchers at Emory did this study that showed that kids who know more about their family history had greater belief that they could control their world and higher degree of self-confidence. It was the number one predictor of a child's emotional well-being. The article added this. Here's what's really interesting. Recounting your family history is not just telling kids our family is awesome. Recounting the tough times, the challenges your family faced and overcame is the key. Understanding that people have natural ups and downs allow kids to know that they too will have ups and downs. It gives them the confidence to believe that they can push through tough times. It gives them the role models that show your family's value in practice. Number 2, traditions, they create family cohesiveness. Researchers have consistently found that families that engage in frequent traditions report stronger connection and their unity in families that haven't established rituals altogether. The third reason traditions are important is they provide comfort and security. Traditions can thus be particularly effective during times of change and grief. Maybe you've moved your family to a state where everything is new and strange for your children, but at least they know that every Tuesday is still pizza night, and every Saturday morning they can still count on going on a bike ride with Dad. That's a tradition that no matter where you go geographically, you hold dearly, and the kids count on it. And then number 4, traditions are important because they reinforce family values. In 6 Things the Happiest Families Have in Common book, Bruce Feiler was asked, what would you recommend if you could only give one piece of advice? His answer, set aside time to talk about what it means to be part of the unity and the family. From the article, he said, sit down with them and say, okay, these are our 10 central values. This is the family we want to be. We want to be a family that doesn't fight all the time, or we want to be a family that goes camping or sailing or whatever it might be. When my family did it, it was literally transforming experience. We ended up printing it, and it hangs now in our room, one of our rooms. One of the most important values is that we are a family that plays together because we do it all together as a team. A family tradition and a family is like a team, let's say in hockey or in baseball, and we love to tackle project after project together. I have found that creating traditions around play forces me to embrace the value even when I'd rather just wrap up this one thing and then in all actuality is finishing off my to-do checklist. But as a family, you do it together. You might take a lot longer, but it's the unity. Whatever the core values are for your family, traditions can help weave them into a family fun lasting forever. And then, of course, traditions are important because they leave us with lasting memories. That's an important one. Interestingly, even experiences that were frustrating in the moment often become beloved family stories. I love to tease my sibling about the time we branded my dad on the bottom with a smoldering stick from our campfire, he said in his book. Though I promise you no one was laughing at the time, and he was not severely hurt, thank God. And of course there are good memories too. His old-time favorite memory was an annual trip to the Emerald Coast, which he says were connected to the Instagram, happened just a couple of weeks ago, and he put it on Instagram as a picture, and that is a family memory lasting forever. There's something priceless about having this photo of my oldest son on his first birthday on the Emerald Coast, and it's in the social media and Instagram, which then in return went to Facebook. But you folks, you have to remember your family traditions. Your tradition might have been just camping with your family each and every year around each and every time of the year. A tradition could be simply going on that bike ride every Saturday morning, or maybe everybody getting together to go to church on a Sunday and then afterwards going to, let's say, Golden Corral. These are traditions that just go on and on and on. And these are traditions that you should instill into your children's mind so they carry the tradition on. Traditions are meant to carry on. They're meant to have memories of things that you repeatedly and repetitiously did over and over again in the years you were growing up, so you can bring them to your children, so they can bring them to the years they're growing up, and etc. to their children. Let today be the first day where you start having family traditions. Create new memories. Create a picture of a family portrait of unity and teamwork. Let it all happen today, and it all happens in your own house starting today. I hope you enjoyed this segment on family traditions, and may God bless you.
Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there. Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. I have read if you will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you